water main break forces a boil order in the northern boroughs. President Trump takes aim at Illinois and Chicago. New details on a CPS security guard charged with rape. Plus, the Bears get ready for the Bills. On the field with the Savannah Bananas. And our reporter's painful struggle with shingles. This is your Fox 32 Week in Review.
Medieval Times tells us they are erring on the side of caution and have canceled their next scheduled show tomorrow night. This all stems from a water main break last night that prompted an emergency water shutoff in parts of the village. Now certain areas, including Medieval Times, are under that boil order, and it could last up to 36 hours. Public Works crews were working well into the night to restore water to customers, and by 4:30 this morning, the water was back on, but residents under the order are being asked to boil any water intended for drinking or cooking for at least 5 minutes before consuming it. That includes residents of Crestwood Court, Kristen Drive, Willowbrook Court, and other neighborhoods. Plus, Medieval Times dinner and tournament on Roselle Road has needed to pivot. A Castle spokesperson says there is a private event being held here tonight, and they have plenty of bottled water for it, along with clean drinking water on site for horses and staff. But adds, after careful consideration and in an abundance of caution, we decided to cancel our show tomorrow night. We weren't forced to shut down, but opted to cancel the show just in case the boil order wasn't removed in time. Now, guests with tickets for tomorrow night's show can reschedule for a later date or request a refund. For a full list of neighborhoods impacted by this boil order, just head to our website.
A war of words between the president and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. President Trump says he is officially enacting a federal takeover of Washington, D.C.'s police force. And he's not stopping there, as he hints Chicago could be next. But the governor is pushing back. President Trump says the federal takeover will help to crack down on crime and homelessness in that area. Federal law states the governor must request the National Guard.
The federal government does not have a right to send soldiers into American cities for the purpose of, well, for any purpose really, but specifically to fight crime, let's say. And that is what he's suggesting that he will do, violate that law.
If we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent.
In a statement, Mayor Brandon Johnson says, quote, if President Trump wants to help make Chicago safer, he can start by releasing the funds for anti-violence programs that have been critical to our work to drive down crime and violence. Sending the National Guard would only serve to destabilize our city and undermine public safety efforts. Local U.S. Representative Rajna Krishnamurthy also condemning the president, saying in part, quote, President Trump's threat to send the National Guard into Chicago is a reckless abuse of power and a distraction from his mismanagement of the economy, the affordability crisis, and his attempts to bury the Epstein files. Almost a year after a crash in Mokina killed an 18-year-old girl, 2 lawsuits are raising new questions about what happened. Today, the parents of Courtney Miller are expressing their frustration with the lack of answers about their daughter's death. Dane Placco has exclusive details.
She was our only child, and the loss of her being gone has been a toll on everyday life. It's really a struggle.
Melissa Miller and Daniel Van Dyke say the tragedy is still fresh. On August 15th last year, their daughter, 18-year-old Courtney Miller, who had just graduated high school and was looking forward to college, was killed in an accident at the intersection of Route 30 and Owens Road in Mokina.
I miss her so much. I can't explain how terrible this is. The worst nightmare any man could ever go through.
Courtney was a passenger in a car driven by a friend headed east on Route 30 at a high rate of speed, when another vehicle driven by Mokina resident Scott Herstead, a tax specialist at a Chicago hedge fund, made a left turn in its path. The collision killed Courtney instantly. Now, 1 year later, Mokina police have not issued any citations or charges in the case.
Tomorrow will be a year, and we still have no answers.
Not even a nothing.
Nothing.
This week, Courtney's parents filed an amended lawsuit against several defendants, including Hersted and a pair of Chicago bars, Cruz Blanca Brew Pub and Parlor Pizza Bar, both in the West Loop. The lawsuit alleges both bars sold alcoholic beverages to Hersted as late as 8:24 p.m., less than 2 hours before the crash that resulted in his intoxication. In a separate lawsuit filed today against the village of Mokina, Courtney's parents allege Hersted was asked to submit a blood draw by Mokina police, but refused. Their lawyer says the police had a legal duty to go further.
They made a conscious decision not to seek a search warrant. What they did in this case was take away the ability for this family to find out the truth. Was there alcohol in this man's blood? Had he been drinking at one bar or more bars before that?
Romanucci says they'll also investigate whether Hersted got preferential treatment because his wife is a former Mokina trustee. Courtney's parents say they just want some answers.
It just felt very empty after the accident happened. Like we were just left alone without our kid and no answers.
We just want justice for our daughter, as any parent would.
We reached out to Hersted for comment. A lawyer representing Hersted went to Will County Court and obtained a protective order preventing the Millers' lawyers from sharing police body cam video with us. A spokesman for Mokina says they haven't seen the lawsuit, so they can't comment. Friday night at 8 o'clock, a public prayer vigil will be held for Courtney near the intersection where she was killed.
And a reward is being offered tonight after a big block party on the west side ended with a mass shooting. One person was killed. Cook County Crime Stoppers says that was Jashira Blackhawk. She was 22. At least 6 others were injured. There is a $10,000 reward for anyone with information. And the organizer of the block party where the shooting happened says he was going to cancel the unsanctioned street gathering but kept it going anyway. Tia Ewing has reaction from city leaders.
Chicago police made contact with the event organizer and ordered him to shut it down. He initially agreed, but at the very last minute, he relocated the party to a completely different location. The party stretched across at least 10 blocks with hundreds of children packing into that crowd as well as adults. The shooting broke out in the 100 block of North La Crosse in the Cragen neighborhood. The 22-year-old party organizer posted on social media both before and after the violence. On TikTok, he talked about shutting the party down due to threats, but ultimately chose to keep it going.
I thought about canceling that, but we still on. Oh, yeah. His party dangerous. We done had how many parties, brother? 3.
He's laughing, but he may be in trouble. Just before 3 Sunday morning, officers from the 15th District responded to reports of the large street party. When they got there, 6 people were shot, 4 males ranging from 17 to 29 years old, and 2 women in their 20s. A 22-year-old woman that you just talked about, Jashira Blackhawk, was shot in the back and died at Mount Sinai Hospital. Alderman of the 28th Ward, where the shooting took place, Jason Irvin says thousands showed up.
These things just happen in the open air. The videos that I saw from the incident, were just horrific. And that the number of people, and these are young people, 14, 15, 16 years old that are out here and which should be supervised. Now, I'm not saying that kids can't be outside, but kids have to be supervised. That's why they're kids, and that's why we have rules and regulations for that. But again, this is a horrific incident. We'll definitely be working with victims with support, as well as our violence interrupters and some of our victim services people.
Well, at this time, no arrests have been made. Area 4 detectives are actively investigating. In the newsroom tonight, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
The explosive allegations are contained in this civil lawsuit filed today against both CPS and the former security guard who is still awaiting trial. The attorney for the now 18-year-old victim says it's clear CPS did not follow through on its own background check policies.
They dropped the ball. They were lazy.
Attorney Mark Brown says it's a tragedy that should never have happened. In 2023, 45-year-old Romel Campoverde was charged with raping a then 15-year-old female student at Farragut Career Academy, where he was employed as a security guard.
It started when she was a freshman. It started with grooming behaviors. It started with Let's text.
Chicago police say during one meetup, Campo Verde gave the girl 6 alcoholic drinks, then sexually assaulted her in the back of his RV.
She's really going through a difficult time. She still has nightmares and flashbacks of what happened.
Now 18 years old, the student has filed a Jane Doe lawsuit against Campo Verde and CPS, saying he should never have been hired in the first place. Her attorney showed us copies of 16 police reports from between 2000 and 2020, in which Campo Verde was charged with multiple crimes, including battery and aggravated assault with a weapon, all before he was hired as a security guard by CPS.
In some of the police reports, and one of them we saw Mr. Campo Verde was a self-admitted street gang member of the Satan Disciples. In another FOIA request we found from CPD that he was a documented gang member.
Brown says it's clear that in doing its background check on Campo Verde, CPS only looked at his arrest record and the outcomes of the cases, some of which were dismissed or pleaded down, but never requested the underlying police reports or dug any deeper, which goes against CPS's own background check policy.
CPS hired a self-admitted gang member with a 20-year arrest history, 16 arrests, violent actions that he's taken against numerous people, and he groomed and raped a 15-year-old girl. It's a travesty.
More than 2 years after the charges were filed, the case drags on, with Campo Verde due in court for a status hearing at the end of the month. A spokesperson for the district tells us, quote, CPS remains committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of its students, but says they can't comment on pending litigation. Dane Placco, Fox 32 Chicago.
Prosecutors say Reed fired first, leading to an exchange of gunfire with police. But his family maintains he shouldn't have been pulled over in the first place. In March of last year, the police shooting of Dexter Reed drew widespread attention when more than 100 rounds were exchanged after a traffic stop on the city's west side.
In this case, the evidence is clear and overwhelming.
After months of reviewing video evidence frame by frame, Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke has announced the 5 officers involved did not commit any crimes.
It is unmistakable that Mr. Reed was the first to fire his weapon, a gun he did not legally possess.
Officers had pulled Reed over for an alleged seatbelt violation. He was asked to roll down his windows and show his hands, but officials say he didn't comply and opened fire instead.
Open the door! The evidence also shows that after an 8-second pause, Mr. Reed again engaged in a second round of gunfire.
The entire encounter took place in a little more than 1 minute.
4 officers fired a total of 96 rounds.
There were 11 fired cartridge cases found at the scene that were sent for ballistics examination to the State Police Crime Lab, and they all matched Reed's firearm.
Officer Gregory St. Louis never fired his weapon after being struck in the arm by Reed.
What happened that evening was a tragedy. A young life ended, a police officer was shot, an entire neighborhood was traumatized.
Andrew M. Stroth, the attorney representing Reed's family, tells me they are disappointed but not surprised by the decision and says the root of the problem is why Reed was stopped in the first place.
He got stopped from our perspective because he was driving while black by a group of tactical officers who have a pattern and practice of stopping individuals in the 11th District.
Stroth says he will be amending their federal civil rights lawsuit and will continue to pursue justice for Reed through the courts.
This is a 26-year-old man who had a family who loved him and deserved to live his life, and that was cut short by the unconstitutional actions of these officers.
In February, the city reached a tentative $1.25 million settlement with Reed's family, but the Finance Committee rejected it in April. 3 of the involved officers are still on administrative leave, while 2 are now inactive.
Coming up, bear down. Get ready for preseason Game 2. Denzel Washington and his opinion on the Oscars, and the South Side, the Pope, and a new bus tour.
It's still only the preseason, but the Bears, they've got a pretty big matchup this Sunday at Soldier Field.
Yeah, Lou Canellis is live at Hallis Hall with all things Bear Force. Are you ready for some football, Lou?
Oh, man, I've been experiencing football since 7 a.m. this morning, Sylvia. Joint practice going on as we speak. Right now, here at Hallis Hall on the practice fields, the Buffalo Bills are here. Folks, this is a step up in competition for sure, because Miami was here last Friday, the Bills today, and the Bills, Fox Sports says, will win the Super Bowl. We'll see about that. All right, let's talk about what's going on the field right now, or at least what I saw before I ran here to the media center for this report. There were a couple of skirmishes, no big brawls, but they took place during a special teams drill when Torrey Taylor was punting to Buffalo's punt return men. Caleb Williams looked good at the start, completed 6 of 7 in the first 7-on-7 drill. Roma Dunze with a couple of nice grabs. But prior to practice, Ben Johnson, head coach, said that Williams has been nowhere near the 70% completion rate that he has set for a goal, but he is at least trending upwards. The big story, in my opinion, right now is the Bears need a starting left tackle. Braxton Jones has struggled coming off of the ankle surgery. He opened up today's practice with the ones during 7-on-7 drills. Then Theo Benedict, the undrafted free agent out of Canada who spent last year on the practice squad, he was with the ones during 11-on-11. And then Jones was back with the ones during a red zone drill where the Bears failed to get the ball into the end zone. Ozzie Trapillo much more comfortable at right tackle. This was head coach Ben Johnson before today's practice. Man, he needs someone to step up these next couple of weeks at left tackle.
Yeah, this is not going to be a revolving door. That's not what we want. We want one guy to clearly come out and say, this is his job. We haven't gotten that yet from our crew. And so at some point, we have to pick somebody that's going to start week 1 if we don't have that clarity over the next, call it, week and a half. And we'll do that. And if we have to continue to battle it out over the course through the bye week, and then that's the course of that's the nature of the NFL. You know, we're going to start. I hate to say, I'd love to have just 5 guys start on the offensive line for all 17 plus games, but that's just not reality.
This is a big deal for Ben Johnson to run his offense. He needs a starting left tackle to step up and take over the position and look real good out there. Second-round pick Shamar Turner back on the practice field. That's good news. Case Keenum not on the practice field. That's bad news.
King David, now ain't this something? I got your full attention now, huh? You finally listening to me.
Somebody's got Trey.
What do you mean
Somebody's kidnapped our son.
$17.5 million in an all-black Jordan backpack. Try me if you think I'm playing.
I ain't got
11 a.m. board the 4 train going to money-making Manhattan.
You let him go, I make sure you set free.
It's too late for all that.
It's never too late.
You're not God no more. I am.
A legendary Oscar-winning actor teams back up with a legendary Oscar-winning director for a new movie hitting theaters this weekend. And Denzel himself only spoke with one station in Chicago. Box 32 and our very own Jake Hamilton.
Love it. It's always a big deal when you get to sit down with Denzel. Not intimidating at all. The new drama Highest to Lowest is the 5th time that Denzel Washington has worked with legendary director Spike Lee. The movie tells the story of a Titan music mogul who needs every last penny he has to regain control of his music empire. But what happens when his son is kidnapped and that money is demanded as ransom? Now, Highest to Lowest is actually a remake of a 1963 crime classic High and Low from legendary director Akira Kurosawa. But Denzel tells me why it was important for him not to watch that original movie. In fact, he actually forgot this is not the first time he has starred in an Akira Kurosawa remake. Obviously, Mr. Washington, not the first time that you've been a part of a reimagining of an Akira Kurosawa movie. I would love to start out with a fun question for both of you guys.
You said what? It's not the first time I've been a part of the reimagining?
I mean, because Magnificent Seven is kind of Seven Samurai.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
So I was thinking in the spirit of that, now that we've seen Spike Lee give his version of an Akira Kurosawa movie, what is a movie directed by Spike Lee that you would love to see Kurosawa remake?
I'm not a movie person, to be honest with you. I've never seen Kurosawa's Magnificent Seven. I've never seen Kurosawa's High and Low. I didn't watch them. I just read the script, and I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to be affected by it. I heard about it, but to be honest with you, I haven't seen it. I can't go out like this. You know that.
Though I got to be honest with you, there are few things in this world that I love more than a great Spike Lee dolly shot. And Mr. Washington, you've got such a great one in this movie. I'd love to know, what are those days like on set when you get to do the dolly shots? And over 5 Spike Lee films, do you have a favorite that you've gotten to do?
I don't look at it that way. I'm busy doing what I'm doing. Spike's making the movie and I'm playing the character. So I don't connect films. You know, there's no iconic. I go, oh, this is the iconic. I work from the inside out, not the outside in. So I'm not even thinking about what Spike's doing. I come to the set with what I'm doing, what my character's doing.
Oh, interesting. So it's not necessarily like a today's the dolly shot day. It's just today we're working. Today we're at work.
It's who am I today? And why? Let's see what I run into and what runs into me. How it's executed, if I knew, then the day is over. You know, because you walk in. What's that behind you?
Chicago.
Yeah, turn around right behind you. Yeah, you see what you just did? You reacted to what I did. It had nothing to do with what you just brought.
I got plenty of room on my shelf for Oscars. You don't have much room left.
I don't do it for Oscars. I really don't care about that kind of stuff. You know, I've been at this a long time, and there's times when I won, shouldn't have won, and didn't win, and should have won. And man gives the award. God gives the reward. I'm not that interested in Oscars. You know, people ask me, well, where do you keep it? I said, next to the other one.
Next to the other one. Fair enough, sir.
I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. And on my last day, it ain't going to do me a bit of good.
I don't think God ever asks how many Oscars do you have.
Might go, you know, that's why I gave you extra week. As long as he says, go, now get on up here. All right.
Pope Leo themed bus tour is hitting the streets across Chicago. And this morning, Joni Lum is live to tell us how you can get on board. Joni, do we need a token to get on board that bus tour or what?
You will need a reservation to get on that bus tour, but all are welcome. You know, Pope Leo, Chicagoans really want to connect with the Chicago Pope, and you can learn so much on this new tour, the Chicago Pope Bus Tour. Zach Schnitzer is the Chief Experience Officer. You're here to tell folks all about our beloved Pope from Chicago. It must be a lot of fun. You've done one already.
Yeah. The early reception has been really great. We've had a lot of personal responses. People are starting to love it. We have several more scheduled for the rest of the month as well.
So what kind of places can you see when you go on the bus tour?
Well, you'll see his childhood home, his childhood church, where he went to seminary, and a lot of other key spots that helped raise him in this neighborhood of Chicago.
We've been learning a little bit, little by little, about Pope Leo XIV.
Sure.
Things that we love to hear, like he was a White Sox fan. He was seen at Wright Field back in history. You'll be pointing that out along the way, too.
Of course, yeah. All the drive-bys will give little tidbits in history about it for everyone to know.
Do you feel like you know a lot about him, or is there more to learn?
Oh, there's always more to learn, but we definitely know a lot about him. This tour is a fun experience to be experienced by everyone of all ages from all around the world and all backgrounds.
Great. So you have a tour that's leaving today.
We do, yes. We have a tour that's leaving soon, several more scheduled. We also offer private tours for schools, religious groups, churches, conventions in Chicago, and more. Yeah.
Would it be a summer thing or an all year-round thing? I see a lot of possibility for this tour.
Totally. It's totally year-round. We got a closed bus, so weather's no issue for us.
Oh, great. I want to take a look at your bus. It's behind us at the foot of Holy Name Cathedral, which is also great, too. I mean, people might want to stop in Holy Name Cathedral because this is a significant spot for Pope Leo as well.
Yeah, of course. Pope Leo's parents were married at Holy Name Cathedral in 1949. His mom was baptized here. There's actually a photo of him on the steps with his brothers and his parents right here from when he was a child. So, of course, significant.
It's hard to believe that someone of that stature came from such humble roots here.
Absolutely. I mean, we like to say now you can't visit Chicago without seeing the Pope's house because it was responsible for shaping Chicago was responsible for shaping one of the world's most influential figures.
Great. Okay, so you're going to be telling that story in just a few minutes, I take
That's
it,
right,
to a full bus.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're getting ready for today.
Zach, thank you so much for telling us about this new feature here in Chicago. The bus is here. It's really nice on the inside. They have other ideas for this bus tour, and it's going to be leaving at 10 o'clock. I think there might be a spot for you. I know it looks like other bus tours here in Chicago, but I've decided that they're here to clean up our image. I'm Jenny Lum. Back to you.
Coming up, on the field with the Savannah Banana Cheerleaders, AOL shuts down dial-up, and the world's largest frog species.
Well, the Savannah Bananas, they are that viral baseball team. They've just taken over the entire sports world.
And now they are in Chicago this week playing at Rate Field. Jake is live to meet some members of their cheer squad right now. Jake, where is your yellow? You didn't want to upstage him in your yellow leotard.
Listen, I want people to watch the show, and if you want people to watch the show, you don't want to see what I got going on underneath this shirt. But let me tell you something, guys. It has been called the greatest show in sports. It's Banana Ball. The Savannah Bananas are going to be in Chicago this weekend. It is the worldwide sensation that is sweeping just about every major league park, whether it's MLB, NFL, all over the country. But listen, when you got a sports team that is bringing people in, selling out stadiums across the country, you need the best. You need the most athletic. You need, dare I say, the sexiest cheer squad on the planet. Guess what, guys? Live out here at the Rate right now, we got them. It's the Bananas. Guys, good morning. How we feeling? Welcome to Chicago.
Thank you guys for having us, man.
Guys, I got to ask you, for people who are watching and they're thinking, what is going on? This is something I got to come out to. Explain Banana Ball a little bit. Explain the Savannah Bananas. It is the sensation that is sweeping the world, but a handful of people maybe don't know about it.
Absolutely. So the Banana Ball is the ultimate fan experience. You got stuff going on in the crowd. You got stuff going on in the field. We got games. We got all sorts of cast and characters. It is fans first, entertain always, and we live by that motto, entertain every single weekend.
I mean, and that's obviously sort of catching on because you guys are selling out Major League Baseball stadiums, NFL stadiums. You're touring around the country. You're so popular, you have to have a lottery just to get tickets. And I feel like that says a lot about what people are looking for from these kind of experiences.
Absolutely. So we do have the lottery, but the coolest thing that I think Banana Ball is all about is that we stream for free on YouTube along all of these different channels, but we keep it fans first. You can watch us at any time, anywhere, and then hopefully you can get out to a game soon.
Yeah, I love there's no Banana Ball Plus that you got to subscribe to for $30 a month. I love that. It's free for everybody. Now listen, we love the team. We love what they're going to be doing out here this weekend at the Rate. But I got to give you guys a shout out because I got to feel like the enthusiasm that they're getting, the enthusiasm that the fans are getting, it's coming from you. And dare I say, it might be coming from the midriff, my friend.
Oh my gosh. Well, this crop top, very intentional, but the Bananas were all about bringing the energy, and it's not what's inside our bellies, it's what's inside our hearts, and we give it to them every single game.
But what is it like to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and go, dare I say, am I sexier than I was the day before?
Well, it's all about what we eat the night before. We carb up a lot. We get ready for the morning, ready for the game. And if we got a full belly, we got a full heart, and we're ready to bring it to them.
And you know what? You're going to have full stands. And I think that says a lot whenever the fans come out here because they love you guys, the Savannah Bananas. We're going to be live with them all morning long. We're going to be talking with some of the players in just a couple of minutes. But, guys, if you don't mind, maybe for some of the fans, because the game's going to be happening tomorrow night and Saturday night here at the Rate, 7 o'clock. There's the lottery system to get tickets, but like you said, you can stream on live on YouTube. But just can I get just a little preview of maybe what some of the fans can expect?
Oh, we got it for you.
All right, I'm gonna get out of the way because nobody wants to see me. Here we go, guys. Look at this. Look at this.
Hey, baby. Ooh. I wanna know if you'll be my girl. Hey, baby. Ooh. I wanna know
Guys, I know the Bears got rid of the honey bears a while back, but I feel like this could be the replacement. Guys, the Bananas are in Chicago. The Savannah Bananas are in Chicago tomorrow night, Saturday night at the Rate. I don't know if we can see. They got the Chicago White Sox welcome Savannah Bananas sign up on the marquee, up on the scoreboard. Guys, we're gonna be live out here all morning long, and I can't do it. I can't rock it like you guys can. I tried to wear my best yellow, but I promise. That's it. Nobody wants to see it. All right, guys, back to you in the studio. Sorry, I can't hear you. IFB's breaking up. Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, whatever.
Where's your belly button, Jake?
Oh, my.
Memories, the days of dial-up internet are numbered. AOL is discontinuing its dial-up internet service at the end of September after 34 years. Asher Red hit the streets of Nashville to talk to people about the nostalgia behind the 90s era tech. And Asher, I have to know, did you find anyone still using dial-up?
I didn't find anyone still using it, but I did find people who remember it. And that's, I asked them to impersonate that sound, which you'll hear in just a second, and it won't disappoint, I promise. But a lot of people I spoke with were very shocked when I told them that dial-up internet still exists. And information nowadays is so easy to access. We can get it from a laptop or at the fingertips with a cell phone even. But back in the day, if you wanted to search the internet, it would take forever. Have you ever heard of dial-up internet?
I have not, no.
I thought it was gone already. Not quite, but it will be gone at the end of next month. AOL is doing away with its dial-up internet service on September the 30th, and the heinous beeping sound that goes with it.
Like a series of clicking noises and beep. I can't. I got nothing.
Like... Dial-up internet became popular in the 1990s, and it required people to connect their computer to a standard telephone line.
It would take that information, digital information, and translate that into analog information that would then be transmitted over the phone lines, received at the other end, and translated back into digital information.
At its height, dial-up connectivity managed up to 56 kilobits per second, which is over 1,000 times slower than modern internet.
No, I was thinking it's pretty frustrating the whole time. It's like you go click on something, and then you go off, do something, come back, see if it loaded.
You would, be 99% through downloading a song. You've been downloading for, hours and hours, and somebody would pick up the phone to use it. And it would, end the download.
A lot of people started using broadband to connect to the internet in the early 2000s, and that's when dial-up started going downhill.
As it grew, people just demanded more and more speed, more and more capacity, and we've really seen that grow over the years and decades.
Now, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates that over 163,000 people still use dial-up internet exclusively. Now, AOL says the decision to get rid of their dial-up internet will not impact any of the services that are still offered to its current subscribers. In Nashville, Tennessee, Asher Red, Fox 32 Chicago.
Okay, Asher, I don't have dial-up, but I actually do still have an AOL email. That is saying a lot, isn't it?
That's impressive. I'm very impressed. I have an Outlook email, so I guess I wish I had an AOL. I had when I was growing up, my first family computer in the early 2000s was AOL, and we quickly switched over to broadband.
Okay. Wow, you guys were just trailblazers, weren't you? Thanks so much. That was fun. We appreciate it.
You can see one of the largest frog species here at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago. I've got the president and CEO, Dr. Mike, here. Tell me who is behind us.
So we have our Lake Titicaca frogs here, which are one of the largest frog species in the world. We've got some younger ones here that are a little smaller, but spend almost their entire life underwater, rarely come up to the surface to breathe. And they do that by taking their oxygen out of the water. And they've got all these kind of wrinkly extra skin folds that give them that extra surface area. You'll see them kind of doing push-ups to flap that skin around, and it really lets them get enough oxygen out of the water.
I thought they were like in an Arnold Schwarzenegger preparing for something like that, like a fitness competition, but that's not the case.
Not the case, although that would be a spectacular competition to see.
We are using this microphone because it is so busy in this space at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago. Tell me where we are right now.
So we're in our Feathers and Scales building here at Brookfield Zoo, and we're doing some walking tours now at the zoo, which is one of the things that we wanted to talk about, was that we've got a Feathers and Scales and Fins walking tour, which is a chance to get out into some of the buildings at the zoo with a tour guide, with an audio tour headset, and not only learn about the animals, but learn about the buildings, some of the stories about the zoo, really just bring a historical perspective to everything. This used to be the perching birdhouse at the zoo, so obviously it's changed a lot over the years, and it's some of those stories we like to share, as well as the really fascinating facts about the animals themselves.
Let's talk more about the frogs behind us. So they are critically endangered?
They are, yeah. So they're only found in that one lake in the entire world.
Wow.
And they really, you know, a lot of habitat loss, habitat destruction, pollution going into the lake. All of those things are contributing to a population decline. It's also the highest elevation lake in the world that's sort of navigable in terms of size. So really a very unique kind of niche environment that these animals have evolved in.
That is really incredible. And you guys are helping preserve the species in a way, right?
That's right. So we are breeding this animal. These are animals that we had 5 young froglets metamorphosize recently, which is a really exciting thing to think about, a critically endangered animal that we're able to help protect and save.
All right, well, come see them here at Brookfield Zoo, Chicago.
Coming up, our reporters struggle with shingles, school's back in session, and the special screening at the Music Box Theater.
5, welcome back, everybody. You know, if you had chicken pox as a kid, which a lot of us did, then you are at risk of getting shingles. It's a painful rash that appears on one side of the body. It's often thought that only people in the age of 50 or older can get shingles, but it's likely that you know someone in your circle that has suffered from it. Someone in our Fox 32 circle has, just in recent months. And here's patient 0, Elizabeth Matthews.
I was off work earlier this summer for about 6 weeks because at the age of 39, I contracted shingles on my face. It started on a Wednesday morning with a really bad headache at work. 3 days later, I started to develop a rash on my forehead, but it wasn't until the next morning, a Sunday morning before makeup, my co-anchor, Mark Strell, took one look at me and said, "You have shingles." I said, "No, I don't. I'm not 65. I don't have shingles." A few hours later after work, went to urgent care. Lo and behold, I did have shingles. Thus, my painful journey began.
Okay, here's the rash. This is like day 2. Look at this. Goes straight down my forehead, like a line practically. Day 3 of shingles for me. Here's what it looks like today. My eye is really swollen. I could barely open it.
The shingles diagnosis kicked off rounds of doctor's appointments, different doctors every couple of days for weeks. First up was making an emergency appointment with an ophthalmologist because the shingles were on my eyelid and up onto my forehead. I probably went back to that ophthalmologist 4 or 5 times in the beginning.
It's rare to affect the eye, but if it affects the eye, it can be severe and vision threatening.
Dr. Shantan Reddy is an ophthalmologist and retinal surgeon with Dooley. He says my early ophthalmologist appointments were crucial. A shingles rash isn't just on the surface, it's nerve-based, and when it's on your face, it attacks the trigeminal nerve. My case only went north to my scalp, forehead, and eyelid.
So the structures that we're worried about is the conjunctiva, the white part of the eye, the conjunctivitis. It can affect the cornea, which is the windshield of the eye, the front of the eye, and then that's when it becomes painful. And then if it affects that structures, then it can start to, you can have complications of blindness.
Dr. Reddy says he's seeing more and more shingles in younger patients, and no one really knows why. Doctors do know a weakened immune system and stress are major factors.
We're all more stressed emotionally, physically, long hours. This all kind of suppresses the immune system. So very healthy patients can get this.
Okay, day 4. It's starting to hurt more. You can see it's kind of starting to blister. The ones that really hurt, of course, are on the eyelid.
So my symptoms started with headaches, mainly. For the first, 2 weeks. Also flu-like symptoms. You could not get me out of bed. I truly felt like I had the flu. I also had kind of a scratchy throat. So that was 2 weeks. Then the next 2 weeks, that rash really started to come up. That was super painful. And then the itching. The itching would not stop, probably 3 or 4 weeks. Even still till this day, 8 weeks, 9 weeks in, it's still itchy. Let's go check in with my doctor, Dr. Barry. Elizabeth to see Dr. Berry, please.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Me again. Dr. Abba Berry is my primary care doctor with Dooley. I rushed to her after my diagnosis at the urgent care and met with her about once a week.
Aside from the rash, so you're doing okay?
Yeah. She explains shingles and chickenpox are related.
Once you have chickenpox, it never really goes away. It just kind of goes and it hides into what we call the dorsal root ganglion, and it's basically inside your nerves. And then when you're not looking, you're stressed out, boom, it just kind of reactivates itself.
I always thought it was for older populations. I am 39. Why did I get it?
Yeah, so stress is a very subjective term, right? As a matter of fact, in my career, and we've discussed this before also, is that I've actually seen it the most in women of childbearing age. They're usually either postpartum or pregnant.
She knows shingles personally. You had shingles.
I had shingles.
Tell me about it.
I was 31 weeks pregnant.
That's rough. Shingles is an inflammation of the nerve caused by the reactivation of the varicella-zoster virus, which causes chickenpox. Dr. Berry says a patient who suspects shingles needs to be seen within the first 3 days of symptoms to get antiviral medicine, which won't cure the condition, but will help you get it out of your system faster. As for managing the pain, I tried hydrocodone, I tried naproxen, I tried Tylenol, Advil, and gabapentin.
Yeah, not very helpful, right?
Yeah. Not very helpful.
That's what I was trying to, that's nerve pain for you, and that's why it is so terrible.
And it can be contagious. The fluid in the blisters is thought to carry the virus, so you have to stay away from anyone who hasn't had or been vaccinated for chickenpox. It's just tender still. Yeah. We're about 8 weeks in.
Yep. It takes time.
Done with my antivirals. Done with the steroid. Now I just wait.
I wanted to know more about why I was getting shingles at the age of 39. So I called on shingles researcher and microbiologist Jennifer Moffitt with SUNY Upstate Medical University. She's been researching shingles for more than 30 years and has had shingles twice.
And it went from the tip of my nose to my chin and into my ear. So it really covered that bottom third of my face. I was in agony.
That was in her 30s. She got it again in her 50s.
This time it was from my nose to my ear, but it also affected my eye, and it caused a big a bleed inside my eye. So now I have a floater in there, and it really damaged the nerves in my ear. And I had earaches for years after that.
Moffitt says in the U.S. alone, there are more than 1 million cases every year. A third of them will end up with shingles on their face, like myself. But in her decades of research, she's seen the rate of shingles increasing for all ages, except for people under 30, after the chickenpox vaccine came out in the mid-90s.
And that seems to be protecting them. But everybody else who got chickenpox as usual is at risk now for shingles.
So why are we seeing an increase in shingles?
There's something in the environment. It may be worldwide because we see this in other countries, but we don't know what it is. So we're not sure what is happening, but it's allowing this virus to wake up. Rising temperatures could be affecting our immune system. It could be pollution. It could be, I don't know. We don't know, but it's happening everywhere.
The older you are, the worse the symptoms are, and your chances increase for lingering chronic nerve pain called postherpetic neuralgia.
And that, for me, with this on my face, feels like a really, really sharp headache. And I'm used to headaches, but a really sharp headache, kind of like by my ear. Day 30 of shingles. Still really itchy, still burning, still there.
The deal with shingles is that it is a very slow process. I do feel better, but there still is some sensitivity. So what can you do? Get the vaccine if you're 50 or older, or if you're immunocompromised, go ahead and check out that shingles vaccine. It's 2 doses. Also, be a shingles spotter, like my buddy Strell. You know the symptoms now of shingles. If you see it on your friends, your family, your coworkers, tell them about it, and they'll get that medicine that much faster.
Well, and the parents are the most excited of all. You have caught us just in time to see the littles going into elementary school. They're being cheered on by the parents who are here, the village trustees of Dalton, the mayor of Dalton, the superintendent of schools are all here to greet the kids on the first day of school at a brand new building, too. This is an elementary school that was empty for quite some time, but now it's rehabbed and beautiful on the inside, so they have this great new environment to start their great new school year. And I'm seeing some other kids and some, tearful parents too. I'm remembering the day of drop off at kindergarten and how hard that was for parents, let alone the kids. So we hope that they have a great day. We have some video of some of the chalk drawings. They called it a chalk walk here outside the schools. They're happening at all schools here in Dalton, where the adults and the kids alike were drawing some really nice messages on the sidewalk so that when kids enter school, they'll have encouraging messages that say shine bright, have fun, be kind, have a great day. And of course we have some messages from Fox 32 as well. A couple of the students got here bright and early and told me how they prepared for this first day of school. First, tell me how you prepared for the first day of school.
So first I looked at the list of what I have to do. Then I grabbed all of the supplies out of the box and put in my book bag. Make sure it was organized first.
Wow. And were your clothes ready to go?
Yes.
Your shoes and everything?
I even set an alarm clock so we could get up early.
Wow. Now, your sister is starting kindergarten. That's kind of a big deal. How do you feel about that?
Actually, I'm just ready. I'm ready for her, ready for me, and ready for everything to happen.
Love it. What were you about to say about kindergarten?
We want to go to the. So when I was at my old school, I want to go to the movie theater and to the splash pad.
That's fun. What do you hope to do here?
I want to get some. I want to have fun. Get new friends. Get new friends and have a good day every day. Have a good day every day.
Well, we wish everyone a great year as well as we watch the tiniest of students walking into their new school. They're so excited. Of course, there's a little bit of confusion sometimes. Which room am I in? Who's my teacher? But look at the parents and the excitement going on here. Everybody getting a good picture of that very important day and all the encouragement that's happening here in Dalton. What a splendid day. I'm Joni Lum. Back to you.
Yeah, let the talk walk. On the sidewalk.
Didn't Joni do a good job of making that Fox 32 thing there for us on the side? No.
It's just so much love in that moment and care and compassion for those kids. It makes me want to cry.
Good little memory, right?
Yeah.
Welcome back, 854. Special screenings are coming to the Music Box Theater. You will be able to watch 70mm films the way they were intended to be watched.
Yeah, so Jake is live there this morning to learn more about it with the classic music playing for you.
Guys, I am loving it, and I love that you just named 2001 the best film to see in 70mm. Guess what? They've been playing it all morning for me. I can confirm that was the right choice. We're actually behind the scenes at the Music Box Theater in the projection room. We're here with Julian Antos, who is the projectionist out here at Music Box. Julian, I am geeking out. I am loving the fact that every year you guys do the 70mm Film Festival, an amazing collection, old school Hollywood classics, some new ones as well. For people who, they see these big giant, the film strips, or you can hear listen to this sound. But they don't really know the significance of 70mm. Explain a little bit why it is a big deal and it is a unique theatrical experience.
Yeah, so this is a really special format. Started becoming a thing in the 50s as an answer to television, people staying home and watching movies at home. Theaters were looking for something really big and beautiful to bring people out of their houses. And it's a purely analog process, photochemical. Just a great way to see a film with beautiful colors, beautiful contrast, really sharp, sort of intense imagery. It's really a one-of-a-kind experience.
Which is why, really, if you think about it, all the movies that you guys are showcasing on 70mm are these big, beautiful, sweeping Hollywood epics, because they're the ones that this 70mm format was really made for. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And it's such a beautiful way to see, even small details and really, big vistas and things like that. close-ups, people's faces. You see all the pores of their skin. It's really great.
Show me, right now, what are you doing with this film strip?
So we're rewinding A Reel of Sinners. That's the most recent film we're showing as part of the festival. Anytime we show a 70mm film, we spend a lot of time inspecting it and preparing it before it goes on screen. So we're just transferring it to our nicer reels.
I love it. Julian, I appreciate you. We want to sort of showcase what this looks like. So come with me, guys. Like, take a look at this. These are all the reels for 2001: A Space Odyssey. So this is, obviously they have to keep swapping out reels because it's a pretty long movie. Right here, you've got all the reels for Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. But we want to sort of take you behind the scenes. Look at all this. These are all the reels for Cleopatra. It's their longest one. This one goes up to 17 different reels. But we want to sort of take you behind the scenes and sort of showcase when you come into the Music Box Theater and you see a movie on 70mm, this is what you're getting. You're getting this big, beautiful, sweeping, crisp shot. I mean, this movie, guys, is over 50 years old, one of the most incredible classics ever put to film, but you are seeing it in a way unlike you've ever seen. It is running now, the Music Box Film Festival, 70mm now through August 21st. If you want to see the entire lineup, and it's a great one, go to musicboxtheater.com. But for now, Good Day Chicago rolls on to the next hour. We'll be right back. I'm going to go back in there.
Good morning, Chicago. Or should I say, good day, Chicago. Yeah, cause you tuned in to Good Day Chicago, and we about to have a good day, Chicago.
This has been your Fox 32 Week in Review. See you next time.